Hey guys, LevelCap here. Tomorrow is the last day to play the Battlefield Hardline beta, and I want to talk about 5 things that it has done right. The first and probably most important aspect of this beta is that it's actually a beta. Battlefield 3 had about a month between the beta launching and the game actually coming out for full retail. Battlefield 4 was exactly the same. The beta came out on October 1st and the game came out on October 29th. So go figure how much time did the devs actually have to make serious changes to the game. Battlefield Hardline, however, came out June 9th, and the game isn't going to launch until October 21st, so that's about 4.5 months for developers to actually get good feedback from the community and make some serious changes. Only time will tell how much of an effect this early beta will have on the final product, but I do truly believe that the developers are actually looking for our feedback this time around. Based on my interviews and my talking with them, they seemed very, very interested in what we had to say as gamers. Item number 2 that the Battlefield Hardline beta did right was actually testing things that they were unsure of. Rather than giving us, say, a conquest game mode or a rush game modes that have basically proven that they are successful, they're fun to play, and that they work, they tested out their new game modes like Blood Money and Heist. And what's really cool about this is that both Blood Money and Heist have a more complicated style in which you play them. It's not just capture the flag where you go and try and get the flag and bring it back to your base. Blood Money's much more complicated. You got to get money from the middle of the map, try and bring it back to your base and get enough, or take it from your enemy's base, and there's a lot of different strategies to counteract this. Heist has multiple stages involved with it, and there's a lot of different strategies as to how to play it better, and so I think the developers have gotten a lot of good feedback, and I know based on the feedback from, say, playing Heist mode, the developers are working on ways to try and better alert the players as to what's going on during the game mode. Sometimes you're fighting, you're not quite sure that the package has been stolen and it's actually on its way to the objective, so they're working on a few ways to sort of alert you to that a bit better, and it's really cool that the beta is going to have an actual effect on these game modes. Item number 3 that Hardline has done right so far is a very simple aspect to the game. It's something that a lot of other games have, but for some reason has never been in a Battlefield game before, and it's kind of amazing how big of an effect it's actually had on just the beginning of a round. What they've done is they've added in a round start timer where a certain number of players actually have to check in, alerting the server that there is at least 6 people ready to play on each team before it starts the countdown. Not only does this make sure that there's a good number of forces clashing at the beginning of the round and that one team is not ready way before the other team is, but it also means that everybody has essentially a fair pick in getting vehicles at the beginning of the round. No longer is it the guy with the solid state hard drive that gets the tanks and the jets and the helicopters at the beginning of the game, but everybody now has an equal chance for that, and it's just such a great addition to the game, especially for game modes like Heist, when the key engagement right at the beginning of the round is so important and critical to have good numbers on both sides. It really starts off like it feels like it's a heist mode where all the cops show up at the same time and the robbers all of a sudden have to all defend at the same time, and a huge firefight just breaks out instantaneously. I've never seen anything quite like that in a Battlefield game before, and it's just a really wonderful and simple addition. Item number 4 on the list of things that Hardline has done right is designing maps that get back to infantry-centric gameplay styles. Battlefield 4 and certainly some maps in Battlefield 3 definitely favored some heavy armor and people playing in air vehicles and jets and that sort of thing just dominating the map, and infantry sort of feeling out of place. No longer is that really a case in Hardline, especially on the high tension map, which I will say is one of the more vehicle-centric maps out of all the ones that I've played. Now, I have gotten to play a lot of other Hardline maps. I can't really describe them in too much detail. All I can say is that there is a much bigger focus on infantry combat in the other maps, and that high tension is probably one of the bigger and more vehicle-oriented maps out of all of the ones that I played. So if you like an infantry-centric style of Battlefield, which I definitely prefer, then you're going to be in for a real treat. And I wish I could tell you more about the other maps, but I will say that if you are a little bit disappointed with the level of destruction available in high tension, there are going to be some maps that you can just tear apart completely and bring back levels of destruction that may not rival Bad Company 2, but certainly get close. Now, item number 5 on the list is something that I have mentioned before, but it is something that really shows that developers are not only passionate about the game, but they also play the game a lot, and that is being able to get ammo from your squad mates that carry an ammo box by going up to them and hitting E, and doing the same thing for a medic class that has a medic pack. You can go up to them, hold E, and it will heal you. You don't have to jump around in front of them screaming, I need ammo, over and over and over again. You can just do it yourself if they don't know what's going on. They obviously can be a lot more helpful if they throw down the boxes themselves. It'll give you ammo faster, it'll heal you faster, but if they're unaware of you or if they're in combat and fighting, then you can just do it yourself. And even though this small update is not going to change the battlefield forever and completely change up gameplay and fix all the problems that the game has ever had with it, it really just shows that the developers are actually playing Battlefield like previous titles. They know what the issues are, and they're actually looking to fix smaller issues, not just big things or add grandiose trailer making gimmicky aspects to the game like a giant AC-130 that are certainly going to make people turn their heads but not improve the gameplay. They're actually looking at fixing smaller things that only the hardcore players are really going to notice and appreciate right off the bat, and this just to me shows that they really do care about making a solid title and a good, well-balanced game. Let me know what you guys think about my list of 5 things that Battlefield Hardline has done right. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comments. I would really like to know, and frankly the developers would also really like to know, and I truly do think that any cool ideas that we have can actually make it into the game this time around before launch. As always guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. This is LevelCap signing off.